What's up, boxing fans? Gilberto Torres Jr. with Torres Boxing. I hope you're having a great day, and I want to talk about Canelo's situation and DAZN apparently only approving of two names for Canelo and team to choose from for the September fight that they have coming up. Those two names are Gennady Triple G Golovkin and Sergey Kovalev, and those were two that were amongst others that were being mentioned previously. Names such as Demetrius Andrade, Jaime Munguia, Callum Smith. These names were all being talked about when they were talking about who Canelo was going to fight next. But now it looks like DAZN is only approving of those two names, Triple G and the Crusher. And I think that's good news, because I said it all along, especially after the Danny Jacobs fight when Canelo beat him, that DAZN, because of how much money they have invested in Canelo in this case, was probably going to have some good influence on who he chooses to fight next. Canelo, when he signed this lucrative deal with DAZN, I believe that he was about to enter a stage in which he was going to probably have the most competitive fights of his career. I thought to myself, Canelo has had a pretty solid career up to this date, but now this fight with DAZN, this contract with DAZN that was, worth 11 fights over the course of 5 years, I said this is probably going to end up being the most competitive and most exciting phase of Canelo's career. The toughest stage for him personally. Why? Because it comes down to the money. It comes down to the finances of this whole thing. DAZN has invested $365 million in Canelo for the next 5 years. And that's the minimum for Canelo, because he still can make more. But at least $365 million is going to be going towards him. But that's money that DAZN is investing. And just like anybody that invests, they want a return on their investment. And that's why I believe that DAZN's going to have a say in who he fights next. Now, they may not have the complete say, total 100% influence, but you have to believe that with them investing so much money into a fighter, that they're going to have at least a good amount of influence in who that fighter fights next. Because Canelo and team with Golden Boy Promotions, they're going to probably be, and I do think that maybe that's why this next fight has taken so long to materialize, because I feel like DAZN and Golden Boy are, there's got to be some at least a level of conflict, a level of tension. Why? Because we've heard it before. Canelo in particular does not want to fight Triple G. Canelo, I don't think he really wants to fight Jamal Charlo, or Demetrius Andrade. And for whatever reasons, I'm not saying he's scared of them. Maybe he feels like they don't bring a big enough name to the table or whatever. But then you have to factor in, what does DAZN want? DAZN is the one that's banking a lot of money on this. They want subscribers to the platform. They want more eyes on the platform. And how do you do that? By making the biggest fights possible. And one of the main reasons, if not the only reason, but I'm sure that there was other reasons involved, but probably one of the biggest reasons that Triple G signed on with DAZN was because he wants that Canelo trilogy. In other words, he's chasing Canelo. Canelo said it before Triple G announced anything about who he was going to sign with. He said, if Triple G wants to fight me again, it's got to be in DAZN. He's not going to fight anywhere else. He's not going to go outside of DAZN. He said, if you want to fight me, come to me, basically is what Canelo said to Triple G. And shortly afterwards, we got the news that Triple G as well signed on to a lucrative deal with DAZN. And so the belief is that he does want that fight. And from what reports have said, DAZN also wants that fight. DAZN knows that Canelo versus Triple G3 it's going to attract a lot of viewers. It's going to attract a lot of people to the sport, because that is still one of the biggest fights to be made in boxing today. You know, we've had controversy in the first fight. The second fight, you know, less controversy, but still a highly competitive fight that could have gone either way. So there's still hype around this rivalry, and these two fighters are still elite level competitors that can bring out the best in each other, and that can offer fans a very fan friendly fight, and they're high profile names. So DAZN understands this, and that's the fight that they supposedly want. But the problem is that Canelo doesn't want that fight, and the reason that Canelo doesn't want that fight, he can say that, oh, Triple G has to get a belt first, but I don't think that's the main reason, because they're saying that supposedly Canelo doesn't like Gennady Golovkin. He has dislike towards him, and it's more personal than business. And this is really personal here, because supposedly Canelo doesn't want to fight Triple G because of what Triple G said in the build up to their second fight. As you all remember, Canelo failed tests for clenbuterol, a performance enhancing drug, and it's a banned substance in the sport. And he failed, I think it was 2 tests if I'm not mistaken, for clenbuterol, and that's when their second fight had to be postponed. Gennady Golovkin fought Vanis Martirosyan, and then they met up again in September. But all the way up until that September date, especially when news broke that Canelo was not going to fight in May of that year, of last year, Gennady Golovkin went on a tirade. He started calling Canelo a cheater. He said that him and Oscar are cheaters. He said that that all they've been doing is strictly political. That the judges are in Canelo's favor, and you know, implying that he's on something, that he's using performance enhancement drugs, and so a whole lot of things that have rubbed Canelo the wrong way. So much that Canelo says that the reason he doesn't want to fight Triple G again is because he doesn't want to give Triple G the pleasure of having a third fight with him. He doesn't want to give Triple G the payday that comes with fighting Canelo Alvarez. And for me, you know, that's a personal thing. It's very personal, because you could very well give this man a third fight, but your reasons for not giving him the third fight is because, you know, you don't like him, and you're subsequently, you know, hindering the money that he can also make. So, you know, that's personal stuff. You know, but the point is that Canelo doesn't want that fight, but again, DAZN wants that fight, and DAZN has invested $365 million in Canelo, $100 million reportedly in Golovkin. So that's almost $500 million, $500 million that they have invested in these two fighters alone. And certainly they would want that big fight on their network as soon as possible, before any one of them suffers a loss. And, you know, I'm glad that they're putting pressure now for Canelo to choose from either Kovalev or Golovkin. And, you know, like an article that I read earlier on BoxingScene.com, how it was titled, "Are Canelo and Team Golden Boy and DAZN heading to a standoff?" And I think that's maybe what's happening. Like I said, this is speculative. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but you have to believe that because there's one side that wants something and the other side wants something else, there's gonna be something to resolve there. There's gonna have to be some talking there, and we'll see how things go. But all in all, I'm glad that DAZN is actually flexing its muscle. Canelo in particular, I like him. You know, his style, his the type of fight he brings to the table. But as far as all that political stuff, all that business side that you know, they play up just because they are the bigger star in the sport, and in any promotion. I'm not a big fan of that, so I'm kind of glad that DAZN is doing this to flex their muscle and remind Golden Boy and Canelo that, hey, you know what, we're the ones investing big bucks in you, and we want to return in our investment. And so we'll see how this comes about. I hope that they don't cave in to Golden Boy and Canelo's demands. I hope that they actually stay firm and consistent in what they're saying and doing right now, and that they put the pressure on, and that somehow that'll end up with us seeing, preferably for me personally, Canelo versus Triple G 3 in September, or we get Canelo versus Kovalev. Those are two great fights in my opinion. Like I said, you have Canelo versus Triple G, which that's my preferred choice for the next fight, just because, you know, it needs closure. Yes, Gennady's not getting any younger. Yes, he's older, and this is realistically, this could very well be the final stage of his career. Canelo, you know, he's younger, he's in his prime, and I think this is a good time as ever to make that fight happen if you're gonna make it. And the Kovalev fight is also intriguing because even though he's not who he once was, maybe before the Ward fights, he's still a very solid, experienced fighter that has shown in his last fight against Eleider Alvarez, when he avenged his knockout defeat by outpointing him in the rematch and regaining his world title. Kovalev showed a different type of style. He showed that he's adapted. He's not relying solely on his power. He's not relying on his brute strength and aggressiveness. He's being more strategic. He's a little bit slower, more methodical in his approach. And that's the sort of Kovalev that I saw in his last outing with Eleider Alvarez. Again, I did not see the Kovalev of old, but I saw a different Kovalev that is adapting to his age, adapting to what he has left, and adapting to his experience that he's obtained over the years. So that in and of itself is a great fight. Canelo versus Kovalev, Canelo versus Triple G 3, great, interesting fights. And like I said, DAZN seems to be putting on pressure on Canelo and his team to choose from either one of these fighters. So we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about DAZN putting pressure on Canelo and team. Do you like it? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing? And who do you want to see him face next in September? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with new material, guys. God bless you and have a great rest of your day.